that we thoughtfully focus on. We don't want to, we're not necessarily focusing on that because we're going to focus on the mysteries. But we don't want to neglect these prayers. It's a balance in the rosary. When we say these prayers by themselves, absolutely, focus on every single word. But when we say the rosary, they're kind of in the background. They're not neglected, but we don't want to get on autopilot. We don't want to lose sight of those prayers and what we're saying and what they mean. Because now we're getting into the meditation. Now we're going to talk about the meditation. So in the back, I think they're all gone, but Deacon Doherty has a handout that kind of explained the rosary. You probably have seen them in little booklets and things like that. They have all of the beads and all the prayers that go with them. And that's very helpful and that's very good. The beads are important, like I said before. The prayers obviously are very important. But the prayers and the beads by themselves is not a rosary. Did you ever look at the back page of the manual from some of the appliances in your house, from your dishwasher, from your washer and dryer, and it kind of has all the parts of the machine broken down? You know, this part goes here, this part goes there. That's all fine and good, but what makes it go? What makes it work? You know, everything can be in the right place, but your washer still may not work if it's not plugged in. This toy may not work if it doesn't have batteries in it. We need something that gives it life. And the same thing is true with the rosary. We can have our beads and we can have those prayers. And I'm not saying to say those prayers by themselves on a string of beads is not a good thing. You are absolutely praying. And I was very careful about saying this because I didn't want to be too condemning or too kind of in your face about this until, in doing some of my research, I actually came across a quote from Pope Paul VI. Actually, he's St. Paul VI now. But he said, without contemplation, the rosary is a body without a soul. Think about that. It's a body without a soul. It's dead. So we can pray. We can pray all of those prayers and go through our rosary beads. But if we're not meditating on the mystery of the rosaries, we're not giving that rosary life. And we're not saying a rosary. We're saying prayers, but we're not saying rosary, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and I want to go through some mysteries and give you a little bit of an exercise, maybe to get a little bit more out of the mysteries and maybe make it a little bit easier to focus on the mysteries. And again, I like analogies and kind of like to make connections. And many of you hopefully have seen the movie or read the book, A Christmas Story, by Charles Dickens. So, A Christmas Carol, I'm sorry. A Christmas Story is not the same quality of movie. It's a lot of fun, but it's not the same. A Christmas Carol with Charles Dickens. And in that story, right, the ghosts of the past and present and the future take him to different scenes with the object to scare him into changing his life. Now that's not what happens with the rosary. Mary, not a ghost, but the Queen of Heaven, takes us by the hand and leads us not to scare us, but lovingly to help us get more out of the rosary, to help us experience those mysteries even better. Because there was a theologian in the last 100 years that actually said meditating on the mysteries of Christ, saying the rosary, is meditating on the mysteries of Christ with Mary's eyes. So that's what we want to try to do. We want to get as close to Mary as we can and allow her to show us what she wants us to see in those mysteries of the rosary.